مرحبا معكم حاتم العقيل مع gemsofarabia. gemsofarabia تسلط الضوء على الشخصيات المبدعة ومميزة. اليوم معنا سمو الأميرة دينا عبد العزيز والمبدعة الفاشن ايكون فريدة خلفة. فريدة خلفة جاءت على السعودية الكاسة السعودية، واحنا حاليا في ميدان السباق للفروسية في الرياض. فيكون لي الشرف انه ننقل دحين الى الانجليزي ونبدأ مع الأسئلة حقتنا، ابتداء مع الأخت فريدة خلفة. First of all, welcome Farida and welcome Princess Deena on this great opportunity for us to have a conversation about fashion, celebrate personalities that are opening doors for the creative community, in particular the Arab community internationally. Both of you have made your mark both locally and internationally, and you have also reiterated the importance of our heritage and how our heritage plays a major role in cementing us as fashion figures as well, personalities. So tell me, Farida, how did your journey into fashion start? Yeah, I know it's a long conversation, of course, and I know you share similar role models, but tell us what your thoughts are.
صباح الخير.
صباح النور.
Alors, how did it start? It started with very easily, you know. I was like scouted by someone who works for Jean-Paul Gaultier, and Jean-Paul Gaultier wasn't the one he became. He was a young designer. And it just happened like that. It's, you know, it wasn't planned. I didn't came to Paris to be a model, or I just came like that. And it was very, very easy to get into fashion, because fashion world, it's a very easy world. When they want you, they really want you. So they did everything for you to make it easy. And it's a very open world. You know, there is no racism or anti or whatever.
Inclusive.
It's like, inclusive. You know, they are very, very open. As soon as you can bring something to fashion, you are very welcome into fashion. So I discovered the world of fashion, and I was like mesmerized by all these people, because it was completely new for me, completely I never saw men like that before, men like you know, people from fashion, and it fits me. You know, I was very I walk on the runway. It was very easy for me to walk on the runway, and Jean-Paul and Thierry Mugler, Allah yarhamou, was so nice with me, and he helped me. Also, you know, they liked the way I was. They always told me, like, walk like you walk in the street. So I was walking like I walk in the street, well, a bit exaggerated, of course, but, and, you know, like with my gum, you know, and really.
So individuality was, you know,
that's what they like.
Cultural, you know, celebrating cultural differences is also
yes,
a way of
for them it was
into
very
fashion as well.
Yeah.
Tell us also about your DNA and how it started. I mean, creating a retail landscape.
That started, my partner and I, my best friend since we were 12, and I decided to open a store in 2006 because we wanted to have the kind of boutique or environment that we were used to seeing when we were traveling. And we felt that it was only correct to have that in our home turf. And because there were no stores that embodied that kind of feeling or atmosphere, we just decided and went ahead and did it.
And the result is fantastic, because what it did is it created a whole movement of entrepreneurs in Saudi in particular, seeing that there are opportunities, especially women can become retailers, and women can actually change the fashion landscape. And moving on to also Farida, about changing perception, about showing the world a different side of the Arab world. Do you feel that there's also a responsibility as an Arab woman, being such a great figure in your communication, in how you reach out to your fans? What is your ethos when it comes to that?
For me, it was very important to make a statement, to say that I'm from North Africa, I'm Algerian, I'm Arab. I'm an Arab woman. So since I started at a very young age, I always said that even if it wasn't fashionable at this time, and for all the designers I work for, they were like really agree with me, because in France it was very important to put that on the. And then of course I see it's always difficult with Arabs people all over the world, especially Muslims people, because it is difficult. So I did a movie on women in Middle East. So I did a movie just to show how they were and how we're all the same, because I had writers, I have artists.
One of our favorites also, Fatma Al-Banawi was in it as well.
Of course, Fatma Al-Banawi, Reem Al-Kanhal is in it.
Yep.
Many.
Who you're wearing today?
Yes, I'm wearing Reem. I love her, and I love her style. And it was very important. And I'm very happy that the movie had like a real good audience. People responded very well on that movie. Have a lot of press, especially in France, where it's a bit difficult with Muslim women and Arabs people. So it is important. It was always important for me, and it's still important, and it's still relevant today. So we're working on it. I mean, even Deena working on it. She lives in America or everywhere, but she's working on it. So all women who does things in every field, fashion, arts, literature, films. A lot of women are doing films.
You're building a community here.
Exactly.
And with social media, the world has become much smaller, and it's so much easier to reach out to that community and make it even more solid and more connected. But with Deena also, I wanted to ask you, being relevant in fashion and being relevant, I think, of course, being relevant as a personality, does it really matter in the end? Relevance to become a stylish figure? Is it really something that is?
I think the importance of relevance in a case like Farida and mine has a higher calling. The relevance is because we speak on behalf of many others that are not known. So I think it's about representation. And I think that's where relevancy comes in. Outside of that, I personally, it doesn't really matter to me if I'm relevant or not personally, because the love of style and the love of fashion is something that I enjoy, and it brings me a great satisfaction. And it's not something I do for other people. It's something that pleases me. Now, if that translates into other people appreciating it, then that's wonderful. But I think that's really how I would view relevance as being important, if you're representing something.
And what kind of advice would you give to the younger generation who really feel the need to be so relevant? Focus on certain
that's a
issues.
Tough one. That's something I talk to my daughter about. It's something, because she's obviously the demographic of what is why that is important. My advice is to be yourself. To be authentic. Remember, you call your podcast authenticity. So I think that's really the most important value that somebody can have, because I do believe that the viewer is intelligent enough. It's not just about being out there. It's about being truly yourself and not trying to impress for whatever reason it may be.
Do you feel like our generation is a bit more inclusive when it comes to fashion? Are we
Absolutely,
less?
absolutely.
Yes.
They're
The
a lot
new
more
ones.
open and they're a lot more receptive.
Yes.
And the newer generation isn't against wearing, let's say, a regional designer, whereas 10, 20 years ago, it was a bit looked down at. So even mentioning people like Reem Al-Kanal, who Farida just mentioned, we loved her. The minute we met her, she had just graduated from fashion school. We did a trunk show for her at the store, and we presented her collection side by side with much more established designers that are international.
Yeah.
And we did that on purpose because we wanted people to understand that it could be cool to wear a young independent designer that may not necessarily be from Milan or Paris or New York. And so I do believe the newer generation is a lot more open and they're a lot more, they're not dictated by things that were looked upon in the past in the same way. So it's a lot more democratic.
Okay, great. Who are the people that have impacted you the most along the way into fashion? I also understand that you have a similar dear friend, Allah yarhamu, Deena Alaya.
Mm-hmm.
So let us know who are the people who really kind of shaped your perspective along the way and kind of molded you as an Arab woman. I think we all mold ourselves as people, but I think that there are certain people that we look up to who kind of define our progress, you know, in general.
Yeah, I met Jean-Paul Goude at a very young age. So also Jean-Paul was very important. I have two Jean-Paul in my life. It's Gauthier and Good. And it was a very good... those people had an impact, a very important impact on me. But really, because Jean-Paul Goude embraced all the Arab world and the you know, I had longer hair at this time, so he saw my hair has like, you know, Arabic calligraphy, so he put my hair like that. So he did a lot of work on it, and it's because of Jean-Paul that I met Deena Alaya. So Deena was such a dear friend, Allah yahmu, and
Legend.
Huh?
He's a legend.
Yeah, he's a legend, and we were like, and then later I worked with him at the studio. So I modeled for him, and then I worked with him. So he had a real impact on me. But stylistically, the most elegant woman for me was Katharine Hepburn. She's an American actress from the 30s, 40s, 50s, and icon.
Yes.
So for me, her style, it's like the perfect style. So I really looked up to her. And also, you know, artists like Cindy Sherman and Goldin, you know, it's like most of it, women's are important for me. Writers, Kirsten McCullers, and a lot of others. So, you know, you pick up everywhere.
Arab women that you kind of looked up to as when you were a young girl, for example.
Yeah, Jamila Bouhired was like, and Jamila Boupasha were like really passionate from FNL, you know, from the Algeria revolution. So they were fighting, you know, against the oppression. So for me, they were very important.
Strong women.
Strong woman, yeah. I like strong women, you know. Kulthum, because her voice is like, it's magic. So
universal.
Universal. With Asdin, we were listening to Kulthum every night because we were doing fittings until very late. You remember probably Deena, because I met Deena at a very long time when she was getting married. It was the first time I came to Saudi with Asdin, and I was pregnant at this time, and she was getting married, and she did her dress at Deena Alaya. So that's how we met. So, voilà.
We have a similar friend in common who is Christian Louboutin,
Oui.
who I also met through Deena. So it's funny
And
because
I met him through Farida.
Yeah, because he did your shoes for your wedding, yeah.
Yes, he did.
And he was not as famous as he is now, but
I mean, Deena was always
more,
the voice of fashion. So when we met her, we were all starting designers, and we were completely unaware of the fashion world. So she would bring it to us. We didn't have social media, so it was through Deena. But also, I think that it's great to see that we are now at a stage where you can come full circle. Saudi Arabia has progressed in such an amazing way over the past 6 years, especially with Vision 2030. We are now at the crossroads where, you look back and it seems like it's so much has happened. One more question, and I won't bother you anymore. Do you feel like your heritage has been instrumental in your success, in what you have accomplished over the years? Because we definitely, as Arabs, idealize you in that way, as a figure who has reached the international kind of success, but at the same time also withheld her roots, or proud of her heritage. Do you feel that it has enabled you to get to where you are today?
I don't know, probably because you are what you are. So I'm from Algerian descendant. So of course that had an enormous impact on me, and physically, I mean, I look like an Arab. So there is no doubt about it. So that's for sure. But also, I'm French. I'm real French. So, but my education is Muslim and Arab. So it's a mix. It's a very interesting mix. Absolutely. And very good mix. And I never hide my heritage. Never. It was the opposite. I was like
celebrating it.
Yeah. So I think it's the best way to go to your life, to be who you are, and try to travel the world with grace, and voilà.
Thank you, Princess Deena. Clearly, you have also pioneered promoting local creatives and giving them a flavor of what the international community is doing. But now with the Saudi Cup coming and the celebration of heritage, and how heritage has become such a big part of the fashion community now. A lot of designers are looking to creating pieces that are linked with the Saudi ethos. How far has that come from the days when you started promoting local talent? And what advice do you have for creatives that want to have that international voice?
Full circle.
Yeah.
It came full circle, Hatem. It's a dream that is realized. It's something that is beautiful and inspiring to see. And it's wonderful that now people not only celebrate their heritage and the origins within design and within technique, but also to be proud of it. And that's just really wonderful to see. Sometimes it takes a minute, and so I'm just happy that finally came into fruition. So I'm extremely happy about that. And what I would give as advice to young designers today is to always have their finger on that pulse. But by doing it, you don't have to be literal. It's about the inspiration itself and what it means to you. So I absolutely ecstatic over this. It makes me very, very happy and very proud.
Yeah, we've come a long way, and Her Highness Princess Noura Al Faisal is, and Princess Noura bint Faisal as well, with MOC and the Saudi Cup, are really instrumental in bringing fashion on the international stage, especially traditional fashion. Mm-hmm. So look out for some really incredible festivities for the next few days. We are so honored to have you here, Farida.
Thank you for
Deena,
having
we miss
me.
you. We wish you were here with us. I just have two more questions, and then I will let you go. And our signature questions: what is authenticity to you, Farida?
Wow.
Sorry, it's a big question.
what is authenticity? Authenticity is to be yourself, not to try to copy anyone, not to just. It's very difficult to find who you are because we're always it's always, a work in progress. I still don't know who I am, but still you don't know what you don't want to be, and try to be the more faithful of, I don't know. I don't have the definition of authenticity, but be yourself. That's it.
Absolutely. Voilà. I think we're at the stage now where with social media, everything becoming so redundant. And there is a need for authenticity. There is a need for raw talent, and this is something that I feel is required, because the reason why I started this agency is because I feel like as creatives we have always been overlooked by capital and PR, and now it's time for the ones who are really talented to shine and thrive. And it's amazing to see all the incredible photographers, designers. That only give them a little push and they can shine, And Princess Deena, last question, I promise.
Yes.
What is authenticity to you?
Well, it's funny you say that. I was going to say to be yourself, which is what Farida answered with. But to be honest with you, the definition of authenticity, at least within the fashion spectrum, would be as a deenaaljuhani in a nutshell. That was authenticity from start to finish.
Could not agree with you more on that.
I agree too. Yeah.
A true legend who has had a technique like no other.
Who stayed, but also happened somebody that stayed true to himself, even when it wasn't trendy.
Yeah.
Very true.
Exactly.
Very true. On so many levels. On that very authentic note, I would like to thank you, Princess Deena, for giving us the honor of being part of this podcast. Farida, thank you so much. I'm so excited to show you more of Saudi Arabia.
Yes, I would love to.
And the many gems of Saudi Arabia. And I understand you'll be wearing many local designers.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
And
Shukran.
Shukran. Thank you, everyone.